It's time to address the trade rumors. Yes, the same trade rumors we've been hearing all weekend and especially the last couple of days. Matthew Stafford getting traded to the Minnesota Vikings. So before we do that, if you guys want one of these cool LED backlit Minnesota Viking 3D logos, feel free to hit the link in the description and use promo code VS30 for $30 off your purchase. I will also be putting it in the comment section. I'll make sure it's pinned so it's right at the top. But hey, Matthew Stafford to the Minnesota Vikings. Sounds real enticing, doesn't it? Makes everyone go, really? That would be sweet. But what about Sam Darnold? We instantly go back to looking at Sam Darnold. What has he been able to do with this team? Well, we're at 5-1. Sam Darnold's having probably a career year at this point, has all the weapons. Our offense, yes, it has struggles from time to time, but at the same time, we're winning ball games. We're able to put points on teams that we probably have no business of doing, right? Winning a close one against the Jets, beating Green Bay, almost beating the Detroit Lions. Now, if we do beat the Detroit Lions, are these trade rumors something we're even considering, even talking about, or does it even become a rumor, right? So this all started first and foremost with Jack Settleman on Twitter, where he released this tweet. He said, sources, the Vikings and Rams are in serious trade talks for Matthew Stafford. Minnesota made a push to trade for Stafford this offseason, but are now revisiting with the idea that he can be the piece to help them win a Super Bowl this season. Isn't that crazy? Right? Like this offseason, we all went into the offseason thinking there's really no way we're gonna win a Super Bowl. We're not ready yet. We just drafted a rookie quarterback. I mean, sure, if we go get Matthew Stafford, there's a chance we could win a Super Bowl. It just all depends on how that defense plays, right? Our corners, our secondary in general hasn't been that good over the past couple of years. I don't think it was realistic, but I also think we all had hopes that maybe we could make a push for a Super Bowl. But we ended up signing Sam Darnold instead to a one-year deal. But Jack Settleman wasn't the only one to release this rumor. Another rumor was Mike Florio, okay, Pro Football Talk, right? He came out, and apparently he's a Minnesota Viking fan, and he was on a podcast and basically said, look, I'm a Vikings fan. I think the one move they need to make is to go trade for Matthew Stafford because I think that makes him a Super Bowl contending team with Matthew Stafford. That's what Mike Florio said. Now, he didn't have any sources. I think that was just strictly his opinion. Go get Matthew Stafford. I think he was saying that because this offseason we were thinking about trading for Matthew Stafford or trying to bring him to Minnesota instead of signing Sam Darnold. Now, what would that have done with the cap? I'm not really sure. But at this point in time, right, these rumors are heating up because, yes, the trade deadline is November 5th. But where the Vikings currently sit at 5-1, our offense is fine. Our defense is stellar, like compared to what we've seen over the past couple of years. There's no need to trade for Matthew Stafford. I don't think this is going to happen. And even per Ben Gosling, who is a Viking insider who covers this team day in and day out, just like myself and a couple other Viking creators do, here's what he tweeted literally just an hour or so, just at 12:16 p.m. today. He said, checking in on the Matthew Stafford to the Viking rumors, I've been getting lots of questions about, right? Source said there's zero truth to the idea the Vikings are trying to trade for him. Whatever his source is, I'm sure it's inside the building. But even if it is inside the building, can you trust that source? Are they trying to bamboozle, Ben Gosling a little bit? So is this trade going to happen? Probably not. If we're sitting here, if you're an actual Minnesota Viking fan and you've followed this for years and years, you know that this isn't something the Vikings do. Absolutely, like they just don't do it, right? They don't go trade for a superstar. It's not in their blood to do that, right? It just never has been a thing. But we are in a new era. Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah is the GM. Kevin O'Connell's the head coach. Oh, and by the way, Kevin O'Connell was the offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl winning Rams just a couple years ago with Matthew Stafford. So in that sense, maybe it does make sense. I would be okay with trading for Matthew Stafford. I would be. I think a lot of you guys would be as well. Matthew Stafford is a proven quarterback in this league, a Hall of Fame quarterback. Some may say not, but he does have a Super Bowl under his belt, multiple Pro Bowls. I think he's won an MVP. The dude's been unreal. He's great. He's a good quarterback. He's better than Sam Darnold. I'm not going to knock that. But Sam Darnold with what he's been able to do with the Minnesota Vikings this season and our record being at 5-1, I don't think there's a need to trade for Matthew Stafford at all. Because how much or how long will we have Stafford for? Would it be just the rest of the season and then let him go? How long is his contract? What's our cap space look like? I know next year we have about, or projected about, $76 million in cap, which is, I think, top 5 for sure, top 10 in the National Football League. So we could afford to keep Matthew Stafford. And plus, adding him to this offense with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, it'd be a little bit better than what he has over there with the Los Angeles Rams with Puka Nacua, who's set to return in 21 days or something like that, and Cooper Kupp, who should be playing tomorrow against our Minnesota Vikings. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays out. Do I think there's any room or truth to this? There could be, but I'm not going to take Jack Settleman's word for it. I know he's a podcaster and he does all that. He has a big following. I'm not sure who his sources are, but they could be false. Maybe he's just blowing smoke. You have no idea if this is true, but it's true that a couple people have talked about it and brought it up, and it's a real situation. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings will trade for Matthew Stafford? Do you want the Vikings to trade for Matthew Stafford? Is it going to happen? Leave that comment down below. Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Will the Vikings trade for Matthew Stafford? Guess we'll find out. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.